Yo, out of the last 16 games I played, I've only lost 3 of them. It's an average of about 325 MMR that I've gained over the last 2 days, just spamming solo queue. And I don't have any plans of stopping this project. I kind of want to barrel onwards and just keep pounding games. But I feel like this is a nice checkpoint to stop, reflect a little bit, talk to you guys about what I did, and I think most importantly, reassess like what I'm even doing here because just winning Dota games, it's cool and all, but it's like not very fulfilling ultimately if it doesn't bring any greater sense. So that's what this video is. This video is me trying to mark that journey, and again show you sort of what I'm doing to gain so much MMR. Basically, without bearing the lead or anything, I'm just playing familiar heroes and playing them consistently. And so we can look at any of these replays for an example of that. I feel like every single one of these games, I absolutely grand slammed them. I took the game and made it my own, so to speak. I just kind of came in, took control, played very consistently from the start. Let's get a nice, it's irrelevant that I clicked Pudge. I just want to get my 10-minute net worth here. But actually, I think I was laning in this game. It was against the Void for sure. Was it Void Witch Doctor, actually? I think it was Void Witch Doctor. Absolutely stomping my lane and translating that into something good. This game, I didn't actually stomp my lane. As you see at 10 minutes, I'm just barely scraping by. But then I come back immediately in a minute by being a part of a very important play on TB. And then I snowball that into an early Crimson Guard, Shivas. I go Ghost Scepter. I had every intention of going E-Blade this game. I think I actually do. No, I go Guardian Greaves. It's kind of a meme. No, that's like the main thing, though, that I want to focus on. Not the item build, but kind of the item build. It's mostly the heroes that I'm playing and how consistently I'm playing them. Brew and Veno. I'm really focusing on those two heroes and, like, with very little exception. I do play offlane primarily, but I have no problems playing Veno 4 or 5. The thing is, I am almost out of roll queue tokens, so this will be a tainted chart soon. Tainted with mostly Shadow Shaman though, because I think I'm splashing Shadow Shaman whenever I have to play support. I don't play him core. Shadow Shaman's pretty strong this patch, but Veno and Brew are comfort picks for me, and I've valued comfort now over anything else. I have completely discarded Axe. Fuck this hero. I think Axe is a 1% win rate hero these days. Anyways, if you play him, he's not that great. Everybody knows how to play against Axe this patch. Even if he is great, right? It's Axe. He's got an incredibly impressive lane this patch. But if you don't know how to play Axe, there's a very good chance that the enemy at some point is going to play around Blink Call and not give you the targets that you want. And then the game gets a little bit more hard. What I'm really trying to get at is I don't have the hundreds or whatever of Axe games down to where the hero feels like muscle memory to me, right? I can execute Axe's lane very well, in my opinion, but past that, I feel like a kid in the toy shop with too many goodies to go grab. I just don't know what to do. But Brew, I know how to translate this hero's early dominance into a win, and I'm very good at Brew's early game. So in that respect, he's kind of like the foil to Axe, right? Like, I'm good at this hero, and he scales well. And even though he's like not super meta this patch, he's definitely playable. And again, he's like something I'm comfortable on. And then that's kind of the same thing as Veno when Brew's banned, or just when like I feel like just when I feel like picking Veno, like when I have a melee 4 or when the matchup for it is really good. If I have a melee 4, especially like a Pudge, I think Pudge Veno is one of the most oppressive lanes in the game. But then on top of that, if I'm against a Void, right, if the enemy carry picks first, or if I'm against a good support matchup, like mostly like melee heroes that can't get on top of Veno, or even if they could, I'll do something cheesy, like I'll start Orb of Frost some games. A lot less so, though, I will say. I don't want to talk too much about builds, though, because I just want to focus on, I've been winning a lot. I think it's been due to consistency, and I think that speaks for itself. This is a game where I apparently crashed out. Yeah. This is a game where I crashed out 10 minutes in. I actually did not feel good about this game. I would have been okay losing this game because I felt like for as good as I was playing mechanically, I think my item choices, even though I don't want to talk about item choices, right? I feel like this game was a great example of a game where I still have stuff to learn on Veno, because playing through this game, if I were to go back and do it all over again, I would have gone a completely different route with my items. I probably would have gone Guardian Greaves, and then I would have eventually looked to pick up a Lincoln Sphere at some point. This Legion really was the only hero that could kill me. Prophet could, though, at some point, too. but it wasn't like as efficient for him to jump on me, and I always had Ghost Scepter. But Legion was really like the blink dual target that caused my game cancer this game, and if I could go back and do it again, I would have. Also, the lane phase didn't go nearly as well as I thought I wanted it to. But Veno's so good, you usually have a consistent game no matter what. You can kind of come out of the lane phase in some okay shape and then turn it into some semblance of farm as you max your wards, which is why I really like Veno. And I think that's the main thing I want to focus on, is, again, I'm just playing heroes that I'm familiar with, and then I'm playing them to their consistencies, to their strengths, to the things that their heroes can always do in a game if you focus on them. So like Brew, it's going to be his 6 timing. It's going to be his level 3 timing. It's going to be when he gets his urn. It's going to be when he gets his vessel. It's going to be when he gets his radiance, right? It's going to be on every item spike after radiance. So like when you get your ags, and you just, I guess, go end the game in this game's case. I actually didn't farm all that well in this game, this 48-minute game, because, funnily enough, this is the most recent game on my match history, right? Yeah, I got cliffed. Dude, I actually will show you guys a replay, because this is like... this game was too good to be true for in terms of content. But I wasn't really planning on looking at any other replays this video, so don't get your hopes up on a in-depth replay analysis. I'm gonna show you the early game. At 10 minutes in, I have very bad net worth, right? I have 3K net worth, and you might think, and you might think after looking at, this was a really funny game. No, this wasn't a funny game. I'm sorry, this wasn't the game that I was thinking of. It's this game. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like I really like playing Brew because I played him for patches on patches on patches on patches. I just have accumulated so much experience on Brew, and he's always been a consistent offlane pick. He's not like Broodmother, where she keeps getting reworked, or it's been a while since Brood's gotten reworked. You know, I could probably iron her out at this point and find a consistent, stable way to play her, but it'd probably be like as a carry. I don't really see Brood offlane these days. It'd be hard to emulate somebody else doing it, and so if I were to come up with my own thing, it would probably not be as it wouldn't contribute as much control as like a Brew or a Veno would from the 3 position. But so this game, I'm playing Brew, and all things considered, I feel great about the game up until what we're going to see happen at like 3 minutes happens. Because this game, you know, I'm against a monkey, I'm against Mag. There's like some annoying things that they could do if I found my pandas in a particularly, or even if so in a team fight before I get pandas off, they have RP and they have enough burst damage, they could threaten my life. And then after I get pandas off, they could RP all 4 of the pandas, and they have a healthy enough amount of AoE, especially when Monkey gets farmed. But even just in case you didn't know, Monkey's ulti, these Wukong dudes, they will hit creep units. They will tear your pandas apart in the middle of Wukong's ring. So they do have like solid answers or whatever, but I feel confident in this game because I know, hey, I can lift Monkey, I can lift Mag if I see him in a fight before he jumps. I can also pop his blink if I pop my ulti and just get on top of him. We're going to see that happen in the game. And then also Monkey, you can purge Jingu Mastery, right? This is an ability that you can... well, it says dispellable cannot be dispelled. Maybe they changed this. They didn't. I don't know why it says that. It's just a fucking... It's lying to you guys. Don't believe the lies. You can dispel Jingu. Of course you can. But either way, you're very annoying for Monkey to deal with, assuming he's not able to push Q on all 4 of your pandas with a lot of farm, basically. Super late game, he can be a little bit annoying back to you just because of his ability to output long-range AoE damage. But all the way up until that point, you can also, like, for instance, you can push him with your Void Panda out of his ring. That is a super annoying element to your kit that he has to deal with. So my Wind gets pulled under tower here and dies, and that's like, it's whatever, right? I'm so confident on the heroes that I play, Veno or Brew, that when my team feeds, I'm not like Axe, where I'm thinking like, okay, we should be winning the early game. That's the only way I know how to translate a win on Axe. No. And that, by the way, I think if I ironed more games out on Axe, I could be a good Axe player. I probably just need to go the Vessel build more on Axe and play around Battle Hunger a lot more often. Battle Hunger Blade Mail, as opposed to, sorry, Battle Hunger with Spirit Vessel and a Blade Mail, as opposed to going Blade Mail Rush into Blink every game. I shouldn't say Blade Mail Rush. You always rush Blade Mail, but Blade Mail into Blink Rush is the build I pretty much always go on Axe, and I think a lot of games that's actually unnecessary. I should be playing around Battle Hunger more. But so she gets a nice 2-man stun there. We got this Monkey low. We actually kill him. And then they get a retaliatory kill on Wind. And this is where the lane's like just about to get completely fucked. Check this out. Tell her to get my boots. Last hitting. Watch what happens here. He puts me up on this cliff. And so I want to instantly TP, right? But Monkey has a stun. So am I not just fucked here? Look at this. She comes over. She's trying to put branches to kick me down. And I actually didn't know this, but it's hard for Monkey to have vision of me. Like, maybe I could have TP'd because I'm on their vision right now. But no, if they just keep vision of me this entire time, my game is screwed. Because if I ever try to TP, he could have just stunned me as Monkey, and he was about to. But then I get cliffed again. Check this out. The more important thing is that I get cliffed again, but check this out. He was just about to stun me there too. So this guy, first of all, was making a play mistake. He wasn't looking at me constantly. But I shouldn't even be able to get this TP off. But the second I do, look at what Mag does. He just puts my ass right back up there, and I just lose the game, you know? Like, I'm stuck up here. My TP's on cooldown. I don't even have a teleportation scroll. I don't even have mana for it. I don't care that Mag's trying to clap my hands, but one thing is for sure, my game is fucked. At least I'm getting experience. At least they're not pulling the lane back, but if they did that, then I guess they would. And he's even trying to dive for my courier, which is funny. I'm juking him out. I don't even really need to juke it out this much. I'm going to end up losing it. Yeah. Unfortunate. Don't even feel like I needed to. And then I shouldn't have used my W there either, because I need the mana so that I can TP in 18 seconds. And so I'm saying out loud in all chat, GG, guys. Feels report worthy, not gonna lie. And so I report him. I report the Magnus, because this feels like a reportable offense. No, I'm just kidding. But look at this. This is crazy. Is my game not just over here? So you ask yourself, like, how does Brew take the win? How does Brew even... What do you do from here? As Brewmaster. She comes over, she D-wards them, and that was what it really took. It took nighttime and a D-ward, because by this point, my team's going to get a gank. We both get cliffed, but I TP down, and then OD comes over and kills the wind. And I have 11 creeps at 7 minutes into the game. My CS is in the trash can, because I wasn't able to farm creeps. And so again, you might ask yourself, like, Wired, how do you even win a game like this? Well, you see Tenacity... A lot of persistence, playing off the enemy's mistakes, getting solo kills, even though... Getting solo kills against 2 heroes, even though I was fucking cliffed for the entirety of the laning stage. It's just outplaying people, okay? It's playing better. I'm just better. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that I'm just better, like Homelander said. It's more like... I'm just very familiar with my hero. I know how to play to the hero's strengths, okay? So much so that you can cliff me and keep me up there for 6 minutes... and I'll still have an impact, right? I will still do something in that video game. So, yeah, that's... this kind of shit is happening in my games. I'm letting it happen, you could argue, in my games. I was actually party queued with a guy this game. I don't usually party queue, but this guy I met in a pub, and I played with him in these 2 games, back-to-back. I met him in a pub, I think, back here. It was when I was on Veno? No. We won. He was a Muerta. Was when I met him in a complete random pub. I was on Brew, wasn't I? Yeah, here he is. Here's when I met him when I wasn't friends. We played together. I was Brew, he was Morph, and then we started queuing together a few games later. That's all I wanted to show there. I'm not, like, abusing party MMR. I'm not abusing OP heroes. I'm just playing to the strengths of my hero pool. I'm hunkering down on them, really ironing out the... mechanical aspect of the game for myself preemptively, because I'm so familiar on Veno, I'm so familiar on Brew, I don't need to think about pushing their buttons too much, right? Just to go to show that it was like my 6th most played hero, and then this is like my 3rd most played hero. Like, I do know what I'm doing on these heroes, and so in playing them in these games, I can focus on the items that I need to buy, which truly is flexible on Veno. Brew kind of goes more or less the same build. You can still have a lot of flexibility, like, do I go Vessel Rush, do I go Urn into Radiance? Do I even just skip the Urn like I did that game? I'll skip the Urn altogether, right? Would be pretty catastrophic if I'm still trying to make an Urn work in this game where I just don't even have a lane. So having that insight, having that knowledge, you could argue you don't need to only play one hero to know these kinds of things. But the fact is you actually do. Okay, the fact is, I guess this is the main point of the video. The fact is, if you play one thing over and over and over and over and over again, then you become very familiar with its weaknesses, and you start to learn how to fit a square peg into a round hole, so to speak, when it comes to countering or answering those weaknesses. You learn how to say, hey, maybe Veno is a really slow hero that has no escape. But I just have to play around that if I'm going to have success on Veno, even in games where they have heroes that can dive on me and catch me, right? You could just, you can just do that. You can build to kite. And Veno is like one of the better heroes in the game to do this, way more so than Brew, just because of how versatile you can be with his item build. And for that matter, I actually want to show you guys some secret technology I've been working on, and that is Phase Boots, Meteor Hammer, E-Blade, Veno. Okay, this is some ancient, not even ancient, I would call this like Neo level tech. Like, I'm developing this in real time. This is a nanobot level AI technology. They don't even talk about this in Area 51. I wouldn't be bringing my top secret documents to a meeting with anybody about this, right? This is just myself and whoever's watching this YouTube video is learning about the Phase Boots, E-Blade, Meteor Hammer, Veno that's running over Immortal Pubs in USC's server, right? And that's all I'm going to say about that. But because I know Veno so well, and the game just crashes, because of course it's not a wired video if the game doesn't crash. But my point here really is that I just know so much about these heroes because I'm playing them so much over and over and over again that I can focus on other things, and I believe that's why I've gained 325 MMR, if I could show that here, more or less, over the last few days. And I felt like I needed to make a video talking or yapping about that to you, so I hope you got something out of this. I hope this wasn't just a complete waste of your time. GG's, and I'll see you guys next time.